What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharp, and welcome to the free consultation Sunday episode here at TSR Towers. It is good to have you guys in today. I was actually in the middle of watching the end of the Little League World Series. The championship game is Chinese Taipei versus Nevada. Actually, the boys from Nevada have made it to the Little League World Series, to the Little League World Series final, and of course now they're making me log out and then log back in. Ay. There it is. Face ID. Good God. Oh. One of the most annoying things is when you have to log back into applications. First world problems, I know, but goddamn, man. Like, for real? God almighty. Anyway, as you guys can see at the top of the screen, the pull-up line is open. You are more than happy to pull up if you have a relationship question. You guys got to understand, I'm not as well versed in the variety of topics, like, say, a Myron Gaines or an Andrew Tate. Myron tends to answer questions on his call-in show about investing and all kinds of other stuff. That's not who I am. I am a relationship expert, and the reason I can call myself a relationship expert is because I've been in a successful relationship now for 9 years. And you guys all know that the woman I have is very attractive. She's doting, she's dutiful, she's feminine, all that good stuff. She is exactly the woman that I teach you guys to train women to be. And so, and I have done that successfully. Now, that doesn't mean that our relationship is never going to end. You listen, I say it all the time. A woman never belongs to you. It's just your turn. A lot of people say, well, it's just your turn too, Donovan. Yeah, it is just my turn. It is just my turn. But by the same token, you got to understand that hopefully my turn is as long as possible. So far my turn has been going on 9 years. My turn has been going on 9 years. Let's go ahead and resume that episode. I'm trying to do two things at once here, guys. I do apologize. There we go. Hey! Looks like that's not going to work. So, looks like I'm going to have to forget that. There we go. All right. Also, I need to make sure that my Bluetooth headset... Okay, so I am paired to the earbuds. Okay. All right, guys. Diabolical Man says, I am gooning to the thumbnail. Donovan's fault, says kidding. That's okay. Like, I pick attractive women on the thumbnails for a reason. Doctor Who Design is in the house. George the Gun Walker says hi. Kyle 2020 says, was that Devin in the thumbnail or someone else? No, that's someone else. It's some random bimbo. Some random bimbo I picked up off the internet. Good looking girl though. Definitely a good looking girl. So all right, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about a topic. If anybody has a relationship question or anything, be sure to jump into the pull-up studio. And when I get to a stopping point, I will, of course, answer any questions that you may have. And so let's get this party started. Guys, everybody has weaknesses. Everybody has weaknesses, okay? Me, you, everybody watching and listening, we all have weaknesses. We all have an Achilles heel or two. Most of us have more than that, right? Now, I want you guys to keep in mind that not all weaknesses are created equally. Most weaknesses that any given person has are minor and relatively inconsequential, right? Now, it may inconvenience them for a short period of time, or their minor Achilles heel might impede their progress. But by and large, minor weaknesses don't completely derail you. Now, of course, on the opposite side of that coin, we have major weaknesses, right? These are the things that can turn our lives completely upside down, things that can destroy us mentally, physically, psychologically, and sometimes even spiritually, which is really, really bad. Looks like we've already got someone. In the pull up studio here. Let us get to, all right, Jay Hancock. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, Donovan. It's great to call in. I got courses a couple of years ago, and everything you teach really helps.
Good. Glad to hear it, man. So what's on your mind?
Well, it's embarrassing.
That's fine. Hey, trust me, whatever story you have, I can promise you I have 100 more embarrassing stories. Don't worry about it, man.
All right, so it was a year ago. I was hanging out with a roommate at a bar. We were shooting some pool, having a few drinks, when a co-worker walked in with a girl I met. He introduced me to her.
Okay.
And I remembered what you said about, I was still new to game, just talking to girls and whatnot. But I remembered what you said about women reward irrational confidence over everything else. So I just decided, just go for it, Jay. Just try it. And hold on. And it worked out really well, but I messed up at the end, and I just wanted to talk to you and figure out where I went wrong.
Okay, all right. So take me through it.
Yeah. So I ordered some food. We were all eating, laughing, again having drinks.
Okay.
I sat beside her. I initiated contact, and we started flirting back and forth.
Okay.
The first place I messed up was we were doing this thing where we were writing notes on the back of receipts to each other, and she just outright said, do you want to have sex with me? And I just completely blanked out. I had no idea.
Oh, no, she threw the booty at you. Oh, my God. Listen. That does happen because girls don't just straight up ask guys, hey, do you want to bang? Right? Like we're used to at least a little bit of resistance. We're not used to girls just asking us to bang. So the fact that you froze up, don't worry about it, man. These days, that is a perfectly normal and healthy response to a girl doing something completely out of the ordinary. We always tell guys, expect the unexpected, right? Be ready to adjust. One of the things that we don't prepare men for is how to respond when a girl says, "Hey, would you like to have sex?" Well, obviously the answer is, say yes. But please continue.
Yeah, I mean, looking back at it, I thought, I should have agreed and amplified, just be like,
sure.
No, sweetheart, I want a kid, a dog, and a picket fence.
Very good. I like that.
But she must have liked me because looking back at it, I was messing up left and right, but she kept giving me shots. But where I really messed up was at the very, very end. I excused myself to go to the restroom, and when I came back, she was just giving me the cold shoulder. And when that happened, I thought about what Rollo said, in which, you judge a woman by her actions, not her words. So I just figured I must have messed up, and that was that.
I will tell you where you messed up. You messed up when you froze when she asked you, hey, you want to bang? That's what it was. And I'm sure at this point, a lot of people watching probably know and understand, women do not take rejection well at all. And I can guarantee you are probably the first guy who, maybe not the first guy, but if a girl shoots her shot at a guy, they almost never miss. Right? The rare exception is if they're shooting their shot at a guy who's out of their league, or they shoot their shot at a guy like you who's not used to women just saying, hey, do you want to have sex? Yes or no? But even still, women are not used to taking L's. When you sort of froze up, she likely took that to mean, oh, he doesn't want to have sex. And if he doesn't want to have sex, he must not find me sexually attractive. And if a woman thinks for 1 second that you do not want to fuck her, she shuts completely down.
Got it. Well, that was all I had, Mr. Sharp.
Okay, all right. Very good. Very good. Yeah, next time.
Anybody new watching, like Don's courses are great. They will teach you everything you need to know.
Thank you very much for that, Jay. In the future, man, if you ever happen to come across this again, use exactly what, I mean, and at this point, there's no need to agree and amplify. She wrote on the back of her seat, hey, would you like to have sex? What you should do, what you should have done, what you do next time is make 2 boxes, 1 yes, 1 no, check yes, and then slide it to her like you're in, I don't know, 6th grade math or something like that. That probably would have been the best move.
All right. Thank you, Don. That was
good stuff.
Great advice. I'll keep that in mind.
Not a problem. Jay Hancock in the house. Yeah, and again, guys, look, I know Jay is embarrassed by the situation, as you know, as he should be. It is what it is. But it happens to the best of us. You guys have to understand. He was really he was put in a situation like, dude, when's the last time, dude? I have never, ever had a woman ask me, hey, Donovan, would you like to have sex with me? That has never happened to me, and I'm Donovan fucking Sharp. You know what I'm saying? I'm Donovan Sharp. That has never, ever happened to me. So him completely dropping the ball, that's just not lack of game. That's just that's just him not being prepared for literally the exception to the rule. Girls absolutely never, ever, dude, I've banged, oh my God. Dude, my body count is well into the triple digits. I have no idea how much it is. I probably stopped counting at like 150. So it's, I don't know, more than 200, less than 300. It's some stupid, ridiculous number, probably more than I'm willing to admit. But that's never happened to me, right? That's never happened to me, and it probably will never happen to most guys. So, okay, so listen, Jay stepped into the batter's box, and the pitcher on the mound threw him a 110-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle. He'd never seen that before. It happens. It happens. Okay, so let me continue. Let me continue with what I was talking about in terms of bad habits, characteristics, Achilles heels, etc., etc. Right? Talking about the major weaknesses that we have. Now, some of us, like I said, we have minor weaknesses. Some of us have weaknesses that can turn our lives completely upside down. Things that can destroy us, physically, psychologically, mentally, sometimes even spiritually, which is really, really bad when you lose your religion. Now, as we get older and a little bit more experienced, particularly with women, minor weaknesses can become major weaknesses and vice versa, right? We live and learn, we adjust and evolve, and we learn to mitigate and sometimes even eliminate our weaknesses. Now, there are two things that make really smart men really, really dumb, and that is sports and beautiful women, okay? Sports and beautiful women. Obviously, this is obviously not a sports podcast, at least not today. So we are going to talk about the beautiful women aspect of it. King Life with the $2 super chat wants to know, what are some good answers to overt XXX questions? Yeah, at that point, there really are no bad answers. The only bad answer is no answer. If a girl says, hey, would you like to have sex? Say, yeah, let's do it. That's it. The answer is yes, right? Hey, want to bang? Yeah, let's go. Right? It's just, and again, I mean, how many of us have ever been just offered sex like that from a woman who was obviously not a prostitute, right? Only prostitutes. Listen, if a woman ever hits, there's a funny saying in Vegas. If you ever get hit on by a woman and you actually fall for it and take her back to your hotel room, do not be surprised when she hits you with an invoice at the end of the night. Women simply do not hit on men unless they are prostitutes. Anyway, there are plenty of things that make smart men really dumb, but the one thing that seems to stupefy even the most intellectually cerebral men are, of course, beautiful women. Chris Rock said it best long time ago when he said that there is no force on earth more powerful than female beauty. And guys, he is 742% correct. Okay? Beautiful women make even the smartest and most disciplined men do the dumbest things. And to be fair, guys, let me just clear this up. Women are not a weakness per se, okay? Women are not a weakness, all right? It is biologically normal for men to want to fuck as many women as humanly possible before we kick the bucket. It is encoded in our DNA. A while back, I remember seeing a Facebook post that said something like, if a man could completely eliminate our need for sex, we would be free men. Totally disagree. And the reason I disagree with this is because I believe that if a man can control himself and not make bad decisions because of his insatiable desire for women, he is a free man. Because the hard truth, guys, is that we as men, we make terrible decisions based on our desire to sleep with women. But that's beside the point. My point is that we can wish for not wanting sex all we want to. It ain't happening. All right? Our desire for sex is programmed in us. It is biologically and evolutionarily necessary. A man's desire to have sex with women is critical to the survival of the human species, so that ain't going away ever. So don't wish that you can not just want sex. No, instead, work on yourself to build the discipline to show imperviousness in the face of your carnal desires. Easier said than done, but again, it takes practice. But going back to what I said earlier, the reason why women have been labeled as a weakness by so many men isn't because of their desire to pursue women. No, it is because of the risks that come with the pursuit of women. I would say as recently as, I don't know, maybe 60, 70 years ago, women weren't seen as weaknesses for men because most women were well behaved. They knew their place, they elevated the lives of the men they belonged to, and they raised strong, well-adjusted children. If a man had 4 children back in 1959, he was considered to be blessed and fortunate, right? Well, here in 2025, a man with 4 children is far from being considered fortunate or blessed. If he's got that many children, there is a better than average possibility that there's more than one baby mama, which means child support. And as we all know, child support is detrimental to a man's finances, to his sanity, his well-being, and sometimes really even his freedom. Let's just say, even if all of his children were his, and with the same woman, and she were his wife, we are still counting down the days until she serves him with divorce papers, which begins the process of transferring his resources directly to her, which of course is one of the 4 pillars of feminism. The point is, guys, is that very few women today are investable commodities. Back in the day, you could, pick out a woman, and it was far more likely than not that she was going to be a submissive, dutiful wife who had your children, took care of your home, took care of you, and they were happy to do it. Obviously, that's not the case today, as most women in this part of the world, the Western Hemisphere, make bad wives, terrible girlfriends, and even worse mothers. But here's the thing, and you guys aren't going to believe this. Most men are aware of this. Even men who are aware of a woman's true nature. Guys, the proof is all around us every day. Just watch TV, watch Netflix, watch Hulu, watch movies, commercials, go to Reddit, Facebook, Instagram, any other kind of social media. It is quite easy to see that bitches really ain't shit. Even then, men who know this stuff continue to make the same mistakes with the wrong women. Even red pill aware men are getting tripped up by bitches. Their last 5 girlfriends have all cheated on them, and they all think the same thing. They think, why the hell do I keep falling for these hoes? I know what I'm supposed to look out for. I know how to disqualify certain women for long-term relationships. I know this. I know this for a fact. Okay? I know how to disqualify certain women for long-term relationships. I've got 16 ways to disqualify her for a long-term relationship, which I got at patreon.com/Donovan Sharp. I got how to build a quality woman from the ground up. Again, which I got from patreon.com/Donovan Sharp. I know I'm not supposed to commit to women that I've smashed on the first date. I know I'm not supposed to commit to single mothers. I know I'm not supposed to commit to girls with tattoos. So why the hell do I keep getting into relationships with women who cheat on me with their exes, or Kevin, the douchebag in the sales department, or his best friend Dave, the unemployed garage band guitar player, who may or may not be having an affair with a wife of 7 years, who may or may not have already had 2 of his children that her husband may or may not be aware of. And listen, if hindsight were 20/20, we think to ourselves, why can I never see where I go wrong with these women? Well, the answer is simple, guys. The reason you can't seem to find that very point in your relationship where you lost your way and all of your common sense and abandoned your red pill conditioning is because these girls are using your password against you. They're using your password against you. So now you guys are probably thinking to yourselves, okay, Donovan, Well, what's my password? I'm glad you asked. Your password, gentlemen. Let me go full screen here. Your password, gentlemen, is an act, a look, a phrase, or anything that a woman does or says that bypasses your red pill conditioning, which makes you blind to her red flags, vulnerable to her lies and deceptive tactics, and causes you to make bad, irrational decisions that benefit her while simultaneously damaging you. Let me repeat that. Your password is a phrase, an act, a look, or anything that a woman does or says that bypasses your red pill conditioning, which makes you blind to her red flags, vulnerable to her lies and deceptive tactics, and causes you to make bad, irrational decisions that benefit her while simultaneously damaging you. Now, obviously, the more game and experience a man has, the fewer action passwords he has. Right? So, for example, most of you, most guys, their password is just sex. If she lets him smash, he's ready to commit. He's ready to go all in. The reason for this is because of his lack of options and lack of sex. Some guys' password is just a blowjob because, well, they barely get those. She gives him sloppy toppy one time, and he's ready to pay her phone bill and buy her kid a new pair of Jordans for Christmas. And if she swallows, man, dude, if she swallows, he's ready to put a ring on it. He's ready to adopt the bastard kid and sign the birth certificate. Oh, let me take a quick break here. I got Jay Blaze on the pull-up line. Jay Blaze, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad.
Can I add one thing to the password? You said sports and women.
Yeah, sports and beautiful women. Yes.
I think men also have a hero complex. This is why we are stuck with superhero movies and stuff. And so if you can take advantage, like you have many institutions taking advantage of a man's hero complex, especially women, and that's a massive password for young men.
I would actually also say this. I think playing the damsel in distress is what triggers that hero complex.
Because I believe you said it once where a woman said, "I feel safe with you," and that like threw you completely for a loop.
Absolutely. That's actually one that I'm going to talk about here in a little bit. So good job foreshadowing.
And can I ask you, what are the implications of, we just got done with Love Island, what are the implications of these reality dating shows pushing open polygamy?
Oh my God, dude. That is the implication. Because if you noticed, man, it was like, that's what was weird. It became apparent that anytime, a guy and a girl, like for example, let's say Nick and Sierra, so Nick and Sierra, they pair up, they hook up, whatever. If Sierra wants to go over and talk to another guy and Nick has a problem with it, that's frowned upon. If Nick wants to talk to another girl and Sierra has a problem with it, that's also frowned upon. And the excuse is, well, I'm here, I want to totally immerse myself in the experience, and I want to explore other connections. Well, I can certainly understand that, but when they pair up, these are almost like quasi relationships, and that's the way they're characterized. Dude, you got these dudes making making breakfast for these girls, bringing them flowers, they're making out, they're holding hands, they're doing all of the things that boyfriends and girlfriends do. Yet, as soon as one or the other person or both people want to talk to somebody else, everyone is supposed to look away. Whereas in the real world, if you're doing these things with a certain person and then you see one of the other people talking to somebody else, our instinct is to say, well, wait a minute, hold on. Like, you were just doing all this stuff here with Bobby. Why are you now talking to Ronnie? I thought you and Bobby were a couple. And it's almost like they're brainwashing the public to say, okay, no matter what your relationship status is, you are always going to be open to be experiencing other connections. That's what I think it has.
Yeah, and they were shaming the guys for having other options, but they were reinforcing the women
there you go.
to have other options. And you're going, what is this? And it's wild how you'll have all these feminists that come on to these debates and going, women are treated so horribly. And it's like, no, all of media, and we just saw the Disney, they need to bring back young men, and you're going, you had young men, you had a ton of IPs catered towards young men, and you made them girl brands. Like, it's wild. And it's just, we're going to see the lasting impacts of this. But it's wild, and I appreciate everything you're doing with the dating shows and the breakdowns, man.
Okay, very good. I will see you on Wednesday. By the way, we had a little bit of trouble. With the power yesterday. Obviously, we had a storm and things got a little bit wonky. We won't get into that, but Jay Blaze is right. Jay Blaze is right, man. It's actually incredible. It's incredible how they really are sort of pushing quasi polygamy. It's like when people pair up. What Love Island USA did is it made it okay for people to engage in behaviors that indicated that they were single, even though they were clearly involved with someone else on a deeper level. I mean, it was obvious. It was obvious. Anyway, back to the passwords here. For some guys, a fat ass is his password, right? If a girl has a fat ass, he's ready to go all in. For others, it's big tits. One of my passwords used to be blonde with big fake tits, which is why, obviously, I kept making strippers my girlfriends. And yes, every single one of them cheated on me, okay? I made bad decisions because blondes with fake tits, blondes with big fake boobs were my password. We all have I don't know, I guess it kind of is still my password. I guess it kind of is still kind of my password because, well, you know, Devin is blonde and she does have big fake tits. So I guess that is still my password, but, you know, thank God that's my password with my wife, right? Right. I guess. Anyway, we all have different physical passwords. And with enough experience, we learn to divorce feelings from what we see, right? We say to ourselves, okay, this chick is really attractive. She's got great tits. She's got a smoking ass and hair so blonde, it blinds me. But the last 5 girls who look like this all screwed me over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to smash other girls on the side. I'm going to fuck other girls on the side to keep myself from catching feelings. I'm going to have fun with this one as long as I can, then move on to the next girl. That is a man, gentlemen, with game and experience. Hang on a second. But, and this is a very good question. JF says, is having scarcity mindset a password? It's not a password, but what having a scarcity mindset does is it makes you susceptible to all of the passwords. But here is something that a lot of guys know, but sometimes forget. Girls have the internet too, guys. They also know about the red pill. Okay, they also know what it teaches men. Girls are starting to figure out that it takes more than just regular sex to get men of value to commit. They're beginning to understand that just being hot ain't going to cut it anymore when it comes to locking down the top men out there. Yeah, they can smash these dudes anytime they want. But the trick is getting them to stick around. So instead of doing the right thing, which would be to stop sleeping around, learn to cook and clean, adopting a kind, pleasant, agreeable disposition, and act like actual women, they took the easy way out and started using phrases and behaviors to effectively disarm our red pill conditioning so that they can continue to have carte blanche to do and say whatever they want and still get commitment from high-value men. And guys, this shouldn't surprise anybody. Today's women never do what's right, and they never do what's hard. They're always looking for the shortcut. They're always looking for the cheat code. When they figured out that men didn't commit after banging them for a couple of weeks, they asked themselves, okay, what can I do or say that will get me that commitment without really having to change anything? How can I get these men to chase my commitment without having to learn anything new or make myself a better woman? And that's how these passwords came into existence. Now, some girls call these cheat codes, other girls call them keys to sort of indicate that these are phrases and actions to unlock a man's desire to commit. There are all kinds of words out there for them, but for the purposes of this particular live stream, we're going to call them passwords. Now, After all of my physical passwords were finally disabled, after getting screwed over by enough hot girls to understand that their hotness was indeed bypassing my red pill conditioning, I wasn't as enamored with blonde bimbos anymore. This is how you grow, right? Gentlemen, women these days know exactly what to say, they know how to say it, and they know what to do and how to do it to bypass our common sense, our rationality, and our ability to compartmentalize certain things. This causes us to think with our emotions rather than our reason. And at that point, they've got us right where they want us. So today, I'm going to talk about 6 of the most ubiquitous passwords that women use today to completely disarm even the most battle-hardened red pill aware men. Password number, wait a minute. Oh, that's nice. Hard R bingo card. Password number 1. I feel so safe with you. And I'm going to play you guys a clip that illustrates this password and how it got over on me. Take a look and listen.
Ukrainian or Russian girl. I think she was Ukrainian. When I was in Vegas. Her name was Tatiana. She may have been Russian. I can't remember, but her name was Tatiana. I actually talked about her yesterday. Beautiful girl. Gorgeous girl. Long blonde hair. Dude, gorgeous sky blue eyes. Now, she did have small boobs, which was kind of a drawback, but she had an unbelievable ass, which more than made up for her small bra size. Anyway, Tatiana and I were walking down Flamingo Road, and I'll never forget this. And we go to cross the street, and I reached over and I pulled her back to the sidewalk because there was a motorcycle speeding along the side of the road. Now, Tatiana was maybe, 105, maybe 106 after she ate a shrimp salad, which was her favorite food in the world. So I was able to just kind of yank her back to me. She looked me in the eye and said, "Donovan, I feel so safe with you." In her thick Ukrainian accent. And I was like, no! It was like when Achilles caught that arrow in his Achilles heel. I knew she had disarmed me, guys. I knew that she had just bypassed all of my red pill programming, but there was nothing I could do about it. You guys ever seen that movie Awake? It was like Hayden Christensen's character in the movie Awake when he wakes up mid-surgery because the anesthesia has worn off, but he couldn't move or talk, but he could still feel everything. He knew he was vulnerable, but there was nothing he could do about it. Fast forward. Turns out, Tatiana had a boyfriend the entire time I was dating her. And when I found out about it, guys, I was sick. Oh my God, dude. It took me a good long while to completely get over her. Like I said yesterday, man, that heartbreak was almost as bad as my heartbreak with Amy. And if you're a patron, you're going to hear about that story on Friday at 5 p.m. when I release episode 4, The Worst Heartbreak of My Life. Anyway, Tatiana had scores of red flags, but when she told me she felt safe with me, it completely blinded me to all of those things, and because of that, she was able to play me like a fiddle. I was the side dude who thought he was the main dude. I'm here to tell you guys, that is a rude awakening. And guys, it took me such a long time to get over her because I really loved her. Like, I really loved her. I thought she was different in a lot of ways, but looking back, she was really no different from any other Vegas slut who slept around, right? Okay, so she had an accent. She had these beautiful eyes I'd never seen before. And, she was from Eastern Europe, but she was just like the typical American girl who sleeps around and plays games and lies. Girls like to say stuff like, "Well, I have so much fun with you."
Sorry about that. The reason why the phrase, "I feel safe with you," is so powerful is because it makes us feel like a man, right? Makes us feel like a man. When a woman verbalizes that she feels physically safe with you, it has a way of making you feel almost prideful in the fact that a woman is putting her physical trust in you. Okay? Knowing that a woman knows, or at least thinks that she can relax because she knows that you can physically protect her, that is a masculine characteristic. Okay? Just like women play on our provider instinct by playing the damsel in distress, which is what Jay Blaze alluded to earlier, they play to our instinct to protect by verbalizing their trust in your ability to keep her from physical danger. Hearing that from a woman, I feel safe with you. Hearing that from an attractive woman at that really makes you feel like a man, guys. Now, the mistake that we make is when we start to think, I'm the only man she feels safe with, right? Like when a beautiful woman physically trusts you and she trusts your ability to protect her and says so, it has a profound effect on you, okay? She feels safe with me. There's a lot of pride there. There's a lot of ego investment. And women know and understand this very clearly. Like I said before, women are very, 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 very good at tapping into a man's instinct to protect and provide. Now, we exploit their instincts with games, right? Like women, they like boldness, so we act bold. Women like strength, so what do? We lift weights. Women like men who can defend themselves, so we learn to fight. Women are attracted to talent, so we cultivate talent. Now, even though those things obviously benefit us as well, that doesn't mean that we're not tapping into their biological imperatives as well. And if we have any deficiencies, we find communities like this to learn how to interact with women in such a way that makes us more attractive to them. Again, this is what we call game, right? But the difference is when we do it, when men run game, the world calls it manipulation and exploitation. But when women do it, it's perfectly okay. Now, the reason why women's gambits are far more effective than ours is because there are more men trying to impress women than there are women trying to impress men. Okay? Women get men thrown at them all the time. They get dick thrown at them all the time. The supply of male attention is at an all-time high, so it's worth a lot less to them. Well, we as men, unless we are a top 5 to 10%er, the average man doesn't get pussy thrown at him all day, every day, like women do in terms of dick. Anyway, with this particular password, women don't necessarily have to say, quote, I feel safe with you. They show it. So, for example, if there's a loud noise, she'll quickly get behind you, right? If there's a fight or a shouting match going on in your proximity, she'll grab your arm, maybe pull you closer. They do this in many, many other ways. When a woman says or shows that she feels safe with you, she might actually feel safe with you. But gentlemen, be very, very cognizant of your reaction when she says this. And most importantly, do not let her see that it has affected you. If she says, I feel safe with you, just nonchalantly say, yeah, I know, and don't look at her. Don't look at her. Do not give her the impression that this has affected you. If you do, she will see that this is your password and she will push that button until you are under her complete control. Until you are under her complete control. Password number 2. Password number 2. You are the biggest or best dick I have ever had. Let me go ahead and queue up law number 28 of the 49 laws of Sharp that addresses this directly. Take a look and listen very, very carefully. Law 28. You will never be her first, her only, her biggest, or her best. Do not make the egregious mistake of believing a woman when she tells you, you have the biggest cock I've ever seen. She tells you this to make you feel special and to make you think she can't get from anyone else what she gets from you, resulting in your mind that your girl, or a woman you're dating, has been fucked better, has had bigger dicks in her than yours, and has done everything under the sun at least 24 times, with at least 24 men, will make things much easier when she tells you that the 6'4" black guy the two of you awkwardly ran into at the grocery store used to pound her senseless. This is part of the game. It's not easy to accept this, but you must. Law 20. Guys, the reason why, pardon me, the reason why women like to tell you that you have the biggest dick they've ever seen, Okay? It's for one reason and one reason only. It's to stroke your ego. It's to stroke your ego, guys. That's it. Okay? This plays on another male instinct, which is to be a woman's best lover. And in a man's mind, the bigger a dick you have, the better a lover you are. Obviously, this is not the case in a lot of times. I'm sure there are dudes out there who have, cocktail wiener-sized dicks who can make a woman gush like Niagara Falls. But even those guys wish they had bigger dicks, right? Hell, even I want a bigger dick, right? And I'm well above average, and I want a bigger dick. This is just a man thing. This is just how it is. This is just how it is. So the real question is why is having a huge dick so important to us? Why does it have such an intense effect on the male id when a woman tells us that we're the biggest she's ever had? Well, I'm sure there are many answers to this, but one that jumps into my mind is that it almost works sort of like a secondary virginity, if that makes sense, right? If a woman actually convinces you that you are the biggest she's ever had, her body count ceases to exist. Her body count ceases to matter. Women know that if they actually talk you into believing that you have the biggest dong she's ever had in her, she knows that no matter how many guys she's been with, you're going to think, okay, she's fucked 74 guys, but I'm the biggest she's ever had. So no one has ever penetrated her like I have. She's never felt the kind of sex that she has with me before. Women also like to tell us that we are the best they've ever had. But guys, I'm here to tell you, this is never the truth. Okay? Dude, as much as women get fucked these days, it is a mathematical certainty that your woman has been fucked by bigger and better dicks than you. Guys, me, myself, I am 214% certain that I am not the biggest and best Devin's ever taken. I'm 748% certain that I'm certainly not the best she's ever had. She hasn't told me this, but knowing women like I do, I know this to be the truth. Look at her fucking body. Man, dude, you mean to tell me, hold on. You mean to tell me with an ass like this, 9-10 years ago before we met, with an ass like this and a body like that, sans fake tits, you mean to tell me she done bigger, better than me? Guys, get out of your ego, man. Get out of your ego, okay? Get out of your ego, all right? Again, Devin hasn't told me this, but knowing women like I do, I know this to be the truth. And guys, I couldn't give less of a fuck. I couldn't give less of a shit. Now, these days, truthfully, I probably care a little bit more because I am getting a little older. My performance isn't what it used to be, right? And it's not like I actually care whether or not she has an orgasm. But in my mind, my ability to give her the silent shakes is more really about stroking my ego, right? I don't think to myself, oh, good, Devin had an orgasm tonight. I'm so happy for her. Nah, fam. Nah, bruh. No. I'm thinking, yeah, I gave that bitch the silent shakes with the rod of God. It literally has nothing to do with her satisfaction and everything to do with my ego. And you want to know something? I'll actually play another 49 Laws of Sharp for you. Law number 11 of the 49 Laws of to cheat and or clubs. Hang on a second. I'm going to play law number 11 of the 49 Laws of Sharp. The less you care about pleasing her in bed, the more she will care about pleasing you. Take a look and listen. About pleasing her in bed, the more she will care about pleasing you. Women should be unselfish lovers, not men. If you are a man who is unplugged, then you clearly understand that the more you give to a woman, the more she wants and the less satisfied she is. Well, the same concept applies to the bedroom. Giving a woman oral sex, if that's not what you're into, is futile at best, degrading at worst. Trying to find her G-spot, searching for erogenous zones and all the other Kama Sutra babble everyone tells you will cause her to become, quote, addicted to you, is a complete waste of time if that's not what you like. The bottom line is that women are addicted to men who do what they want in and out of the bedroom. Worrying about whether or not she's having the ever-elusive female orgasm will quickly get old. When it does, she'll start fucking someone who cares less about her, quote, needs. Be the selfish son of a bitch you were designed to be and do whatever the fuck you want. She will adore you for it. Okay. Well, there we go. Anyway, guys, you have to resolve in your mind, gentlemen, that you are highly, highly, highly unlikely to be the best lover she's ever had. You're even less likely to be the biggest dick she's ever taken. Now, you can certainly, change these things, right? But it takes time. Damn it, Walter. Come on, man. Ugh. Walter has been fucking with me all day. It takes time. Okay, and if it's something that you want to undertake for your own ego's sake, I'm not mad at you. If you want to do penis extenders, penis pumps, whatever. But for the time being, you're just going to have to understand that you will never be her biggest or her best. Come on, buddy. How'd you go? Come on. Come on. Let's go. Go. Walter. Out. Walter. Get. Damn it. Walter, get. Get. What the? Sorry, guys. What the? Dude, Walter is on one today, man. He's really pissing me off. But again, this is why law number 11 states that the less you care about pleasing her in bed, the more she will care about pleasing you. And guess what? Again, this has absolutely nothing to do with your size or performance. Guys, just be a selfish bastard in bed and she will be unselfish with you. Guys, this has never failed me. The more I cared about a woman's needs in bed, the less she cared about mine. So I stopped caring. Okay? Or when I stopped caring, actually, they started caring. Anyway, I've had plenty of girls tell me that I was the biggest they've ever had, or I was the best they've ever had. Guys, I just ignore them. Okay? Maybe they were telling me the truth. Probably not. Either way, I don't give a shit, and that's why when women tell me this, I ignore them. Fortunately for me, this was never a password of mine. Okay, again, this goes back to law number 28, and I'll actually tell you a quick story. I had a fight party at my place for Mayweather Pacquiao way back in 2015. I had a bunch of people over for the fight, right? I allowed people to bring whoever they wanted. I don't know. They were probably maybe 25, 30 people there, crammed into my tiny apartment. It was a good time. Mayweather obviously won decisively as usual. Anyway, I started fucking one of the girls who came to the party. Her name was Jennifer. And I remember her telling me one time, I've never had a guy be so rough with me. It's the first time I've tried it, and I love it. Guys, I did not believe her for 1 second. Okay, listen, we had great sex. She did whatever I wanted. It was great, right? But come on. Anytime, guys, girls will tell you, you are the first guy I've ever had unprotected sex with. You're the only guy I've ever had unprotected sex with. But then a week later, you find out that she's got 2 kids. Gentlemen, girls will tell you that's the first time I've ever let a guy fuck me in the ass. Forgetting that she told you about the backdoor sausage party she had in college with the football team on the train tracks, if you know what I mean. Girls will tell you that's the first time I've ever been tied up, but she forgot to tell you that her last boyfriend was literally Christian Grey. Girls will tell you that's the first time I've ever worn heels while getting fucked. But then she forgot to tell you about her ex-boyfriend, some douchebag named Donovan, who never met a pair of heels he didn't like. Now keep in mind, they don't just use this for sexual situations, guys. They also use this for emotional and circumstantial situations. You're the first guy I have ever fallen so fast for. You're the first guy, you're the only guy I've ever introduced to my parents. You're the first guy, you're the only guy I've ever introduced to my friends. You're the first guy, you're the only guy I've ever introduced to my kids. You're the first guy, you're the only guy I've ever cooked for. The list goes on and on and on and on. If a woman ever calls you her first or only, it is 374% bullshit. She told her last 14 boyfriends exactly the same thing. Never forget that. Password number 3. I want to have your children. I want to have your children. This taps, gentlemen, into another male instinct. You guys starting to see a pattern here? Every one of these passwords taps into some sort of natural male instinct. This is how girls operate. Anyway, this one taps into a man's instinct to spread his seed. Pass on his genes, pass on his legacy, and women know this. Newsflash, gentlemen, she didn't want your kids. Okay? She wants your commitment. And if kids are a means to an end, then fine. But she doesn't want kids just to be having a kid with you, just because she wants to have a kid with you. No, she wants access to your resources. Tatiana, dude, I'll never forget this. Tatiana used to tell me she wanted a little copy of me. She said she wanted a little boy just like Donovan. We talked about it all the time. She used to send me pictures of mixed babies all the time. We used to come up with little names, names for him, talk about where he or she would go to school, all that stuff. Now just think about that for a second, guys. Think about this for a second. I am over 5 years into my red pill renaissance, and I am actually entertaining thoughts of having a child with this woman. That's how powerful these passwords are, guys. When I say that these passwords bypass your red pill conditioning, I'm not kidding. I was Donovan, Vegas slut, slaying, sports car driving, penthouse owning, cocaine snorting, whiskey drinking, stripper fucking sharp. And here I am actually thinking about having a child with a woman who wasn't even my girlfriend. I thought she was my girlfriend, as you guys heard in the clip, right? Tatiana used that strategy to keep her hooks in me, and it worked very well. Women know that men want to have kids. They know they know that it is in our DNA to pass on our DNA. And when a woman says she wants to have children with you, it's like she's choosing you. And our masculine firmware knows. We know that a woman can only give birth to so many children. And the fact that out of every man on the face of the earth, she's choosing you to procreate with. Guys, this has a powerful effect on a man. I'm here to tell you. And if you're not aware of this, you will not be able to help yourself. Again, I speak from personal experience many times over. Women tap into this and they exploit it to keep you around and making you think that she wants to have your children, but for no other reason but that she wants your DNA to make a baby with. That password, gentlemen, I'm going to tell you what, that has the gravitational pull of a planet 10 times the size of Earth itself. Do not allow a woman to trick you into thinking she wants to have a child with you. It's not about you. It's about exploiting you. Nothing more. Nothing more. Oh, the next password. I've never felt this way about anyone before. This is one of the go-to favorites for girls. And even though most men are probably aware of this, they still fall for it. Every one of us in here has heard it. Every one of us in here knows it's bullshit. Every one of us in here has still fallen for it. Even though we've heard it and know it's bullshit. You know, dude, you know she's got 3 kids. You know she's been engaged twice. You know she's had at least 2 abortions. You know she's had 6 boyfriends in the last 6 months. You know it took forever for her to get over her last ex. But you still believe that the way she feels about you is unlike anything she's ever felt for anyone? If you believe this when a woman tells you this, this is on you, dude. Okay? Even the most blue-pilled of blue-pilled dudes knows that this is never true. If she says this to you, I've never felt this way about anyone, you need to have one foot out the door. Because at this point, you know she's probably getting desperate. Here's another one. This is one that I used to get quite frequently because I used to talk about it in bed. You own me, right? Like I used to be fucking girls be like, who fucking owns you? They'd be like, you do. Whose pussy is this? It's yours. Whose tits are this? They're yours. Whose ass is this? They're yours. Who owns you? You own me. Part of my strategy. You guys might want to try it out. You guys know the introduction? You guys know the introduction of TSR Live. What's the first line of the introduction?
A woman never belongs to you. It's just your turn.
It also happens to be law number 1 of the 49 laws of Sharp, as well as the opening statement in my theme, which is that a woman never belongs to you. It's just your turn. And here's the thing. Women know they don't belong to you. They know that there is not a man on the face of the earth that will ever truly actually own them. But again, when women use these passwords, they are tapping into a natural male instinct. This is why they're able to manipulate men so easily with this strategy. You own me. That is accessing a man's DNA that actually accesses a man's DNA in ways that go back as far as the beginning of time, right? It also has traces of like dom sub relationships. When a woman actually tells you that you own her, what she is playing at is she is making you believe subconsciously that she cannot leave unless you decide to let her go. Men have no idea that when a woman tells him this, it automatically switches his mind into I possess her mode. I own her. She belongs to me. She can't go anywhere because she is my possession. What this does, gentlemen, this tamps down our instinct to protect a woman from herself. In other words, believing that you can actually possess a woman causes you to take almost a lackadaisical approach to protecting a woman from her, to protecting your relationship. You'll let her go to bars. You'll let her go to clubs. You'll let her go out with her girlfriends because, well, she's not going anywhere. She belongs to me. She's not going to hook up with anybody because she is my possession. She said so herself. I own her. The guys who go the absolutely most crazy, the guys who go the most mental when they find out they've been cheated on are likely the men who are told, you own me, by their girlfriends. Never, and I mean never, believe a woman who says that you own her. The last and probably most ubiquitous password there is I think I'm falling in love with you. Guys, this one is the Hail Mary of passwords. This is the Hail Mary passwords. Women try this one when all else fails. Okay, she's tried all the other passwords, so she's trying this as a last-ditch effort to fool you into thinking she's worth committing to before she's actually proven her worth. Right? Women tend to use this one when they sense you're about to leave or sense that you're not going to commit. A lot of times they do this out of desperation. Like we see it on The Bachelor all the time, right? We'll see a girl who has a bad date or she's involved in, some sort of drama, right? One of the girls goes, runs back to The Bachelor and she tattles on her. And so now she's thinking she's on her way out because one of the girls tattled on her. Well, that's when she pulls the I think I'm falling in love with you card to try to stay in the Bachelor mansion for another week. I'm falling in love with you. That's also a litmus test to see if they can manipulate you. And if you reciprocate what she says, she knows she's got you. If a woman tells you she thinks she's falling in love with you, simply answer with, well, it's about time. Now, you will probably piss her off and turn her on at the very same time. All right. Very good. All right. We only had one call. I guess not too many people are interested in the free consultation Sundays. No problem. Some weeks are better than others. Looks like Myron Gaines just went live. So I'm going to take my leave. I'm going to be back a little bit later on. You know what? You want to know something? Actually, you know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do, guys? You know what I'm going to do? Hang on a second. I'm not going anywhere, actually. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a Love is Blind. I'm going to do a Love is Blind breakdown. I'm going to do a Love is Blind breakdown because I was supposed to do one yesterday and we got our powers zapped and we never got around to it. No. Actually, I think I'm going to take about a 1 hour break and then I'll do it. I'll see you guys in about an hour. Check me on Discord.